you're going to need a major disclaimer on this one. Oh man, I'm sure you've seen some crazy Danny's World related content, whether it be on TikTok, Reddit, and maybe Twitter. Usually it's fandom stuff and lots and lots of There's some softcore stuff too, sprinkled with innuendos. Don't worry though, this has been lowered since the majority of those freaks, those subhuman trash, went to Forsaken. However, sometimes these platforms will hold conversations or videos about certain content creators on YouTube. I happen to be one of those few people that they talk about. My focus is going to be on TikTok since that's where most of this stuff comes from. There's going to be some crazy ass topics, so your discretion is needed more than ever before, especially if you ignored the first warning. The first video is from an individual who surprisingly has a mic and talks. You wouldn't be surprised at the amount of critique videos regarding me where they have annoying music blaring in the background with transitions of Danny's World Toon pictures, or worse, the AI TikTok voices. Maybe that ADHD autism joke is more real than we thought, okay? Dude, I'm getting ahead of myself, but kudos to this individual for not doing the usual. Still, you'll find out quick enough that this is where the compliments stop.
Hey guys, Pug here. I wanted to do something a little different for my content, and I wanted to talk about a pretty problematic person.
So right off the bat, I had an instinct about the word problematic on TikTok, and that being a sort of pseudo cancel culture word. And the reason why all these TikTokers use it is because they don't ever want to associate with cancel culture. That was a 2017 phenomenon that really backfired. Not even bread tubers, Twitter users, or Reddit ghouls want to use the term cancel culture. So they moved on to something that is basically the same thing, but just a new ring to it. Even AI sees through that bullshit. A little tangent, but you can already tell what deranged background these people are from, especially this individual here.
Called CyberHaptic. Now, I won't go into their humor and, their weird-ass jokes and shit. I think a lot of people have already, rehashed going over how edgy he is, and I can't really talk because I watched stuff like Vanoss, Super Mario Logan, SMG4 when I was like a little kid. Obviously it's weirder because he makes it on like a kid's game, but like, well actually no, Super Mario Logan did the same shit basically.
I love how he wastes time with his takes. Oh, he makes edgy jokes on a kid's game. Then he realizes that he watches people like me. I just found that so funny, man. Also, we'll get into those rehashed talking points, but later, way later in the video.
I wanted to talk about, his whole thing with Bobette. If you don't watch him, I don't blame you if you don't. He's a pretty, terrible guy, but basically, from what I've seen through clips, he kind of just makes fun of Bobette for being fat. Now, what I find funny is not that, but does he know that, there are other fat characters in the game, of Danny's World, by the way. There's Gigi, Dandy, Roger, if you count that, he's kind of like a dad bod, but that's not really fat. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Cocoa is, and I think that's all I can think of.
I find this part so funny because it speaks to his level of IQ and maybe even secretly reveals something about himself regarding how he views these tunes. We'll get into that more in just a bit, but it's not confirmed at all that Gigi, Roger, or even Coco, or as he calls her, Cocoa, are chubby. I don't know where he got that from. We're almost positive it's just Dandy and Bobette thus far. In fact, someone in his own comment section pointed this out, saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. You can already tell this doctor, this scholar, is a good source of information
for fat characters. Now, he is Mexican. Now, I know this sounds weird to bring up, but this will come into place later. Basically, he just makes fun of the weight. I mean, how he even had a video with a fucking fat ass fucking, Bobette. It was in, a fan game. Now, already, I wonder if someone has ever asked Quell, hey man, do you fuck with CyberHaptic? And I bet you she would say no. I don't like him. He's weird. I mean, he's one of the few, I think he's one of the most popular content creators to not have access to developer tunes because of his behavior, but
I like how he has to create this fake scenario in his head to make himself feel good. Quote, do you with CyberHaptic? What a fantasy. By the way, don't tell him the bad news that she's a smart adult. Regardless of that, I doubt it would be in her best interest to involve herself with YouTubers, including me. But this next point, he says that I'm one of the most popular content creators to not have access to developer Toons. Quote unquote, because of my behavior. Who's going to tell this astronaut that no YouTuber has access to developer Toons? Some of the devs on the team don't even have access to them. I think this idiot, I mean engineer, somehow saw YouTubers play with dev Toons, but didn't realize it was from fan games. I really have no other explanation as to why he believes this fantasy of me being restricted of dev Toons because of my behavior.
Again, I don't want to go into that. You know, it's the same rehashed bullshit. You already know he makes weird jokes, jokes, you know, ableist shit. And is a grown man, but like, again, I don't want to go into that.
We'll get into that later, but this grown man comment just tells me that he's never truly talked to adults. Very antisocial behavior right off the bat, because if you're in adult inner circles, you'll find very off-colored humor. His idea of an adult is a cartoon where the adult never swears, never jokes, unless it's a corny dad joke, and is always stoic and calm in most situations.
Honestly, he might be into Bobette. You know, just maybe, alright? Because hear me out. A lot of Mexicans, including myself, we love fat girls. And we're not talking like, oh, you know, little fat. No, we're talking like the big picture, right? Like, he has to be self-projecting. I mean, who wouldn't crack Bobette? We're all cracking that ornament. All of us. Realistically, he would probably crack GT2 if he found out she was fat as well. I mean, can we blame him? Absolutely not. But hey, buddy, like, you don't gotta pretend you hate fat people, dude. We all love fat people here, and I'm being so dead ass too. I've gooned, yes, gooned to fat art of multiple characters. Not Danny's World only, by the way.
And thanks for revealing your antisocial behavior. You could tell that his brain realized that he f***ed up big time during that awkward silence bit. Oh boy, where to start? Well, he mentions how I could possibly be into Bobette because I joke about her so much, and that it has to be a self-projection. Even though it was a joke and not a revelation of how I think of others, I really like the smart IQ take of, if he's against this, he secretly wants to be this, or even likes this. What a doctor. I meant to say doctor. What a dumbass argument. He later, in a split second, reveals that he is the one that is projecting. He starts off with, quote unquote, a lot of Mexicans, including myself. Right there. He is trying so hard to group us into his weird fetishes. And yes, I will be very judgmental of you. I view people as individuals, not groups. I get that races can have stereotypes and proclivities that are sometimes true, but definitely not like this. He then says, we, quote unquote, love fat girls. And we're not talking about little fat. No, he's talking about big girls. Morbidly obese is the word you're looking for. Again, he uses the word we because he knows that his fetishes are abnormal. So to try and normalize it, he has to make it appear as though a majority of people are into what he's into. Also, this idea of quote unquote hate fat people from a joke on a fictional character is beyond insane. This user and many like him accuse me of fat phobia, which for the record, I don't believe in. It's a 1960s coined term that eventually got popularized like 10 years ago. Even the term and usage of the word just isn't accurate. Phobia implies fear. They can't even use their own words correctly. It's a social justice term, and I'm not an adherent to that ideology. Regardless of that, let's play into it. It means, according to them, unreasonable dislike or unfair treatment of people because they are fat. Yeah, you can already tell that they throw these isms and phobias like a monkey throwing shit. These people have never seen fat phobia, you know, because realistically it's not there. But besides that, they've never encountered it, and it'll probably continue that way. A fat joke doesn't reveal what an individual thinks on a moral level about fat people. Any joke, for that matter, doesn't reveal what an individual thinks on a moral level about what's being joked about. Maybe if you had evidence of me showing favoritism to skinny folk, then we'll talk. But until then, you won't have it because it doesn't exist. Yeah, I remember when I asked Red for help looking for an artist, I told him, make sure you have the artist take a picture of their drawing while showing their hand on the digital pad. I need to know how big those arms are. I don't want a greasy fatty working on my art. I'm going to have to disown my family since a majority of them are fat. Very sad, but I must do it since I'm fat phobic. Void, if you're listening to this, I know we've been acquaintances for years, but I'm gonna have to let you go since you're fat. Now, this next part, keep in mind, no one has a gun to his head. He wasn't tortured. He freely admits to gooning to fat, and he also strangles it to Dandy's World characters and many others, not just Dandy's World. That's his own words, not mine. Now, I'm not a freak like him, right? But if I was, not even the CIA could torture this information out of me. Whatever happened to Shane? Recall back to when he says that Gigi, Roger, and even Coco are fat characters. Since he made assumptions about me and my life, I can make very accurate and healthy assessments of him. I think, personally, he has gooned to so much Gigi, Coco, and Roger fat that he thinks these characters are officially fat. You gotta love how he includes, quote-unquote, not including unrealistic fetish art as a disclaimer. I don't think this dentist understands that bodies can get to that level, so his disclaimer means nothing.
Also, I just wanted to bring up that, he also apparently used to make, tower defense content. If you watch him, that's fine. I mean, I'll look at you like in a certain, I'll give you maybe like a weird look and all. That's really all I'll do, really, if you watch him. If you watch him, you watch him, you know? I'm not gonna stop you from watching the edgy content you like.
So this is his plea for a middle ground to make himself appear normal. Oh, if you watch him, you watch him. Not going to stop you watching edgy content. But it contradicts his and what many people are trying to do in their actions on TikTok, which is to effectively cancel. They don't want you watching me because if they really didn't care, then they wouldn't have made these videos to begin with. In all seriousness, what the f is even the point in bringing up accusations that would provoke people to not want to watch someone, and yet on the other side of your mouth you say, if you watch him, you watch him? That just doesn't really add up. Before he even said that, did you notice he said that if you watch me, that's fine, but then follows it with that he'll give you a weird look? That doesn't sound like someone who doesn't care if you watch me. These TikTokers, man, they avoid the word and term cancel so badly because they know the image that it evokes upon them, and it's not a good one.
But, if you're gonna make fun of fat characters, can you at least please find out about the other characters instead of rehashing the same shitty joke over and over again? Like, at least target my girl Gigi over here, man.
He obviously doesn't watch the content, and you could tell. I'm sure many of you can reference when I've called these characters fat. In fact, I kind of say that to all characters who show greed in taking items.
Dude, you'd fucking love her, CyberHaptic. Please, goon to her. I know you goon to Bobette in your free time. You have to with how much you talk about her, man. I mean, we're all gooning to Danny's World character.
Even more projection, which is insane given with what he has admitted to already. That's pretty much it for this individual, and I want to have a moment-to-moment with you. All my enemies are like this. These dysgenic, unsculpted gooners. I don't have a broad enough brush to paint these people with. I really don't. One last video on fat phobia. You're in for a treat. I promise you, it is so good.
I'm gonna say this now, CyberHaptic and his fat jokes. And saw jokes are not funny BTW. I'm not sure about the saw part, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's my humor, people find different things funny. Shocker incoming, insults and fat jokes are not funny. I'm a bit chubby myself.
Well, well, well. And there it is. Many such cases. You'll find so many videos where the people who have a problem with the fat jokes are fat themselves. The reason why I bring this up is because you'll notice a pattern. These individuals hyper project themselves onto the character so much to a point where making fun of a fictional character equals making fun of them. This is such a mentally deranged way of thinking. I really do believe it's mental illness. There's just no other way for me to look at this differently. There's nothing wrong with seeing some characteristics of yourself in a character. Like, I could see a bit of myself in Yada, since she's a Mexican character based on a religious piñata symbolizing the defeat of sin. At the same time, I don't fully make the character equivalent to me. If you crack an ice joke or a Mexican joke, in no way I would be offended because the fictional character.
Like some of y'all would say, of course a chubby person is saying this. But you have to make fat jokes and maybe saw it to be funny? If I'm being honest here, I don't like him at all anymore, but it's just a game. It doesn't affect real life. You sound like a pro shitter right now. It may not affect real life, but jokes like that, it makes people insecure about their weight.
No one is saying that you have to make these jokes to be funny. No idea where this user is getting this from. I really love when they engage in fantasy arguments. It's actually just a funny thing to see. Also, you can stop saying, quote unquote, it makes people insecure about their weight. This video is about you being insecure about your weight.
Little fun fact, most chubby people are more healthy than thin people. Gaunt out.
Oh man, she did not just say that. Said no honest doctor ever. I really hate that I even have to debunk this because it hits me a little personally. You can search up if being fat or overweight is healthy, and immediately the AI tells you no, and it lists all the complications. If you think AI is bullshit, I have an article that, funnily enough, it tries to be fat positive and anti-fat phobia as much as it possibly can. And when you read the article, it brings down the gauntlet. One doctor says it's linked to, quote unquote, 13 types of cancer and 200 other health conditions. Me personally, I don't think this looks healthier than being thin. Another doctor says, quote unquote, those numbers directly correlate to life expectancy. If you're 50 pounds overweight, your likelihood of dying of any cause is twice as high as someone who is not overweight. If you're 100 pounds overweight, it's 3 times higher. We want to be supportive and give people options, but we also don't want to shy away from something that is as serious a problem as cancer. When a doctor compares being overweight as serious as cancer, you know you f***ed up. You'd rather be offended at a joke and try to misinform people that being fat or overweight equals healthy is the most insane thing I've seen in a minute. Without you guys draw Babette, she died at the age of 40. One last argument, and I want to be devil's advocate. Let's pretend that you somehow know through the means of a, say, superpower that I indeed was fatphobic. How in the world would you go about proving that? Because we know jokes don't equal a person's true belief and or worldview, so how would you do it? Because so far, all these TikToks, including other claims that I haven't gotten to yet, have not been able to demonstrate any form of real evidence that I view certain individuals as lower than me. It would be one thing if they had some DMs with proper context of me denying someone work because, you know, they're overweight, but they don't. They just don't have that. They only have jokes that I cracked on YouTube. Another devil's advocate argument, even if I seek to offend and humor, is that not the point in dark, edgy, and crude humor? I make it well known on my channel, in the description, in the about me, and recently in my intros. So begins the unraveling of Toodle. I wish I could unravel some of you because you don't read the description or about me. This video may or may not contain 15 to 18 plus humor. Your discretion is advised. I say to watch with discretion, that the channel engages in 15 to 18 plus humor. So what on earth are you complaining about? Do you go to a rated R movie despite being sensitive to gore and then complain about it on social media? Oh, you don't. Yeah, these individuals have very high IQs. You're probably going to hear this argument spammed a lot through the vid because it answers really anything regarding these people's complaints. The next one is really funny. It's not really a hate video, but it is used as evidence for ableism. Yes, another one of these ism words. Let's play devil's advocate and use the same arguments for the fat phobia claims. Can you prove that I discriminate against people with disabilities in a legit way, such as a screenshot of me denying someone employment because they have a missing arm or something? Maybe a video where I push a disabled kid down the stairs and say, yeah, take that, crippled, try walking up now. You couldn't do it because it doesn't exist. The jokes that I crack just don't fit your claim. Even people in the comments get a laugh out of it and even admit that what I said was true. These scholars don't even know their own definition and usage of the word, much like the fatphobia claims. They just throw this word out for an emotional response without knowing what it means. Ableism is discrimination in favor of able-bodied people. Yeah, dude, cracking that joke really showed my true worldview on disabled people. Every time I see a blind person, I can't help but think it'd be real easy to steal money from them. I'm probably going to have to unfriend Void. Not only is he a chonker, but he has autism too. Can't have that. Void, if you're watching this, you'll know why I unfriended you. I just remembered that my best friend Zach, he has ADHD. Actually, it's kind of valid that I unfriend him. That douchebag made me buy a $40 game, and because his attention span is so low, we only played it for 1 day. You could tell that these people have a victim or martyr complex. They so badly want to be the one mistreated in the story. And you'll see this repeated throughout any and all accusations. They have never encountered ableism, and likely they never will. One last thing, again, the channel is 15 to 18 plus that engages in dark, edgy, and crude humor. Why don't you just change the channel? It's really amazing to me that these people ignore the warnings, or worse, they know and see the warnings, but then give off these sissy ass comments saying, dark humor isn't this, or I engage in dark humor and we don't joke about that. These imbeciles will try so hard to get you to believe that dark humor engages in safe PC culture and only involves itself into swearing and references to sex. I hate what Has Been Hotel did to these individuals. They think fuck, fuckity fuck is all there is to dark humor. Yeah, excessive swearing and obscenities is truly dark. I have AIDS because I constantly spread my legs to men. You have no idea what dark humor is. I need a breather. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm all chill and relaxed now. This next topic is about my ice and or Mexican jokes. And my answer to that is, who gives a shit? Are we serious about this? Hey, check this out. Insert channel description here. I'm not even going to make the name it and claim it argument. Guys, I'm Mexican. It's okay for me to say it. You could be white or any other race and make these jokes to me, and I could care less. In fact, I laugh all the time with what you guys say to me on the live streams. But yeah, once more, I don't believe in name it and claim it. It's either all okay, as long as it isn't serious, or none of it is okay for anyone to say. That's the only two consistent worldviews, so pick and choose. Yeah, such a non-issue because they're so mad that Yada was made fun of. Have you noticed that all these people pearl clutch? Again, much like the Bobette ordeal, they hyper project onto the character. I've found that a lot of Mexicans actually love the Yada bit that I do, so I really wouldn't be surprised if these TikTokers are white knights. Yes, white dysgenic knights defending us poor Mexicans. All right, this next video is funny because it shows that even my haters have to admit that they love the content. They find it hilarious. I'll draw you Finn X Shelly right now. Oh yeah, this is looking real good, gamer. Do you want to hold his hand? Or would you rather... Nah. You don't seem like that type of person. You want to go to base 2. You want kissing art, right? That's right. Okay, I got it. I'm drawing that right now as we speak. Okay, so we're going to tackle these one by one. Some of it overlaps, so in those cases, we could just speak broadly. This is the part of the video where it gets somewhat serious. The next accusation is a rape joke. I could care less if a joke like this was made because, again, the channel is 15 to 18 plus. It's meant to have dark, edgy, and crude humor. I know it's hard. Well, it's actually not, but you biologists have a hard time reading, so I can't really blame you. However, that's not even the issue. The reality is that this accusation is blatantly false. The evidence they get it from is a segment from my video called Catching RP Weirdos in Dandy's World. They claim that from this video, I made a joke. The major problem is that it isn't a joke. It's me reading the name and the text the user typed out. It wasn't me typing the text. It wasn't me playing Dandy with that username. I simply recorded it. What the hell? Jingle bells, all the way. Oh, what fun it is to rip all these fucking tunes. What the rapist Dandy? Oh. What the? Slaps? Yeah, GG, you got the right idea. Let's be real. I laugh at any bypass on Roblox, but it's very obvious that my view on this person is bad. I even say that this user should, well, to put it lightly, kill. Here's a screenshot of me feeling great about this user being banned. And to put even more weight onto this, take a guess as to who got all those users banned. Yeah, it was me. I spoke with Void, yes, the person I jokingly referenced before. He has connections with Quell and other Dandy's World mods. Through my screenshots and video, I got those nasty users banned. Tell me why these TikTokers feel the need to lie about this situation. It seems so far that these patterns are malicious, are they not? What's even crazier is that the video that they get the segment from wasn't even meant to be seen by a majority of people. It's an age-restricted video that is full-blown 18 plus. If you click on the video, it will tell you this video may be inappropriate for some users. To show proof that I myself censored it, take a look at the amount of money I made on it. Yeah, that's what age-restricted monetization looks like. And here's a second photo confirming that I myself restricted it, with another check from YouTube confirming that my age restriction was accurate. These TikTokers, however, decided to take that segment and show it off to the world, not having other people in mind, which is the most baffling thing to me. Complete insanity. They exposed me for quote-unquote jokes that was never said and are free to just show this to the world. Man, I love TikTok. It's only filled with the most brilliant world thinkers that the world has to offer. Yeah, I'm sure if a recently kid comes up to me for help, my first instinct is to crack a joke and not tell them to talk to their parents and call 911. No, I would never do that. I have no heart or soul. I just crack dark jokes during serious moments. I do find it strange that these people never reference anything else. You'd think that if you want a person canceled, that you'd show more evidence than just an out-of-context clip. And I'm here to tell you that these people don't care about whatever it is that they're preaching about. And in this next part, you'll see what I'm talking about, but during the latter half. Okay, so this next one is about a grooming / SA joke. They overlap, so I'll take both of these at once. I'm pretty sure your mind has gotten used to the fact that I'm 15, count it, 15 to 18 plus YouTuber that cracks dark, edgy, and crude jokes. I applaud you, because even this point, they make his dog shit. The clip they pull these allegations from is my video called Scraps Ability Spammer. OML, I love fruitcake ship. Oh my gosh, dude. I hate shipping. I'm sorry, dude, but it's just, it attracts weirdos. It attracts the mentally ill. It attracts predators. I mean, you name it. I genuinely think shipping should be banned. I don't want this fandom to turn into like a My Hero Academia fandom. I don't want this fandom to go through a pressure incident. Like, dude, what are you doing shipping? Like, I don't know about you, man, but when I was like 8 years old, I would play with like a Batman figure and have him fight Optimus Prime. Y'all be drawing characters like kissing and cuddling. What? Were you groomed? Now, the issue isn't that this joke wasn't made. It's more so, why in the world do these people not cite other sources? You think if it was their prerogative to cancel that they would stack evidence, because I've made plenty of other jokes relating to this topic. Funny enough, in the same video, I referenced Jake the animator. How old are you? That's a Jake-like question. I don't, that's a little uncomfortable. 3? I swear, if his next words are, to my liking, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Oh, they're kidding. Yeah, don't reveal your age, little one. Watch out, little one. He's a predator. Okay, look at that. She learned to, oh, wow, you took my advice. Made plenty of Epstein and Diddy jokes. I mean, viewers in the comments can vouch for this, yet this is the only thing these TikTokers cite. Why? Rhetorical question. I know why. They actually don't care about these jokes at all. They only care about the fact that their shipping was made fun of. I do mean that. You can look at any TikTok so far, and from what I've seen, the only reference has been that clip. Nothing else. Just to give you background behind the joke, are we going to pretend that if you search up Dandy's World ships, you're going to get wholesome content, especially a good majority of it? No, you're going to get or softcore material being flashed on your screen. It's insane that there's remnants of said material still on the site, even to this day when the game is at an all-time low. Keep in mind, this video was made back in January while Danny's World was at an all-time high. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, I mean, really anywhere was an abysmal time to be looking up fan content. If you want proof of this, most of these Danny's World shippers have gone to Forsaken. Now, thank goodness. View at your own discretion. Not going to encourage you, but if you do look up Forsaken on TikTok, it's just riddled with softcore, innuendos, or flat out Danny's World during its peak was exactly like this. If you think even for a second that the people making this stuff are able-minded adults who grew up with 2 parents in the household that didn't let their child be exposed to porn, you are so sadly mistaken. Yeah, I'm sure these people waited to turn 18 to finally watch porn and decided, I want to make the free will decision to draw shipping porn. Yeah, I'm gonna be 1 in a million shippers to draw Sprout ass blasting Cosmo. Yeah, I think they hate the joke because there's sprinkles of truth there. Well, not so much sprinkles, more like a topping. If you want my unironic take on shipping, I view it as unhealthy. I think most people that get into this sort of stuff were EPE'd. Another reason could be that these people are just lonely. Here's an article. Not a big fan of Psychology Today, but you could read that on your own time. It's very accurate. It's almost like loneliness and romance novels are on the rise for a reason. A lot of these people project their desire onto the canvas, which is quite sad to think about. That's just a take though. If somehow you don't fit into any of these categories, and I expect there to be 1% of you, then you're fine in my book. You're probably gonna look back on how cringe all this stuff was anyways. It amazes me again how much these people try to shred my character. Yeah, if I found out you got a group, my first instinct is to joke about it. Not comfort, not reference you to the authorities. You know, because we got to make those jokes first. It's content. It's just insane character assassination. Do I have to tell these low IQ ghouls that I'm satire as well after every joke? I know people with brain damage or low IQ have a hard time reading sarcasm, so maybe that's why. Yeah, in short, if you really cared, you would have pointed them all out, or a good portion of my jokes, but you don't, because this was never about. It was only an issue until shipping was joked about. This next topic is kind of a short tangent. I really love when these people engage in history revision, especially with regards to my channel. They'll say some dumb shit, and it usually goes like this. He used to be family friendly, then he started making dark jokes. No, no, no. The channel has always been like this since the inception. For goodness sakes, I roleplayed as a Border Patrol agent in one of my old videos. You can ask any old head or just someone who was able to look back on those old vids. The humor has always been there. It's just these dumb asses that think that my channel started a year ago. Anyways, not really important, but I definitely wanted to complain about it. All right, last point. We're going to call this the gamer word, the N-word segment. Not the hard R, but the soft A. So this is gamer word light, a dictionary favorite. If I was watching an adult-like channel, which I'm not because I watch wholesome content, these YouTubers that never swear with gaping mouths, that's my type of content. I only like Has-Been Hotel. That's as edgy as I can get. I would normally think a channel that is rated 15 to 18 plus probably doesn't engage in safe PC wholesome humor. I normally think anything goes. Anyways, it's 2 clips of me saying gamer word light. In one instance, I'm very heated because there are these subhuman things called Tumorians, and just to give you an idea of how infuriating this community is, their Discord channel is considering to switch to read only. These things would go into your live stream and constantly spam either pointless strats that don't work or easy to win strats that they saw on YouTube because they don't like playing their own game. They got hella annoying, and in prior streams they would mock the chat. This time I just lost it. I couldn't take them anymore. They bothered me so much I exploded in laughable anger talking to the audience.
Unironically, is that real, chat? Someone verify that's true. Yes? Yeah? No, what the hell were you telling me? Like, bruh! Bruh! Half you telling me, oh, go to tomorrow mode. You gain more EXP. And then other people are saying, like, no, you don't. Then you got the other ones that say, oh, you please play chapter 2 already. Like, man, you guys are whack, dude. See, this is why I do stuff linear, man. Actual dude.
So glad I don't cater to that piece of shit community anymore. All right, second clip. I don't know how else to say this. I just got too comfortable. It's one of those moments where you feel like you're playing with your friends and you forget you're streaming and let loose. I didn't even catch myself saying it. If I'm good at them. Like, yeah, my ego is high, so I gotta be good at games in order to have fun. I don't know how I don't know how people like are able to play a game they suck in and just have fun. I don't know. There's no way for that to happen. I can't understand that, dude. It's funny though because these philosophers call me racist. Now, much like the ableism and fatphobic claims, you'll find that it's beyond greatly exaggerated. Here's the definition of racism, since they don't know what it means. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. These people think that uttering a word on an adult satirical channel equates to... they think it equates to racism. I guess all those Mexican jokes show that I really look down on Mexicans because I'm genetically superior. Again, I don't think these people can show actual proof of me looking down upon certain groups. I mean, if they couldn't do so in the previous 2, then they sure as hell can't do it now. Should I say this? Dude, I know my old audience is waiting for me to say, hey, one of my best friends of 10 years is black. Unfortunately though, I'm no longer friends with him. You know, it's not because he was black, but let's just say he committed a certain crime. If he was still here, he could easily tell you that my overall character doesn't match with what TikTok users are saying. Man, I love that defense. You could tell it's going to piss them off. Racists always use the black friend defense. Yeah, maybe because racists don't actually befriend people they hate, you stupid bitch. Why would a racist have friends that they hate? It's very obvious. They hurl the word racist because it evokes emotions. It's a trigger response, much like ableism or fatphobia. These people have never seen true racism. They've never encountered it, and it'll probably continue that way for the rest of their lives. One other thing, unrelated, but I find this so funny. I've seen my viewers go and comment in these TikTok videos every once in a while, and they reference the about me all the time. It's the only thing they comment. It's just so funny, dude. It's hilarious watching these like attention deficit ghouls mentally break down in their responses. They can't take it, dude. They can't take it. Woo. Oh man. That pretty much settles it. If there's anything that I didn't cover, or if new arguments and or clips come out of this, my warnings and now this video are good enough. You may still think, Cyber, why this long response though? What's the point? You normally wouldn't care about this. And you're right, I normally wouldn't care because again, I have warnings on the channel and normally that's good enough. However, it simply has gone too far. This is the last point before we close off the video. It has been circling and making the rounds that I'm allegedly a pedophile. I shouldn't even use the word alleged because these quote-unquote people don't use it. They full-blown accuse me of pedophile. I see it in TikTok comment sections. I see it in my own comment sections on YouTube. I've even seen it in a Discord group. Now, I'm not going to show the names since I took care of this privately, but basically, some user was excited for me to cover a video game, right? And this specimen of human garbage decides to allude to this user that I did the typical YouTuber thing. The user then asks, liking minors? To which the subhuman responds with, he made very weird comments towards them, yes. This has been happening for quite a while, as you could tell, and I'm tired of letting this happen. Here's the video they usually cite.
Your stream?
Yeah. So yeah, just say it. Go ahead, dude. I don't even care. Just say it.
Do I say the N-word or not?
No, don't say the N-word. Just literally everything else but the N-word.
Cyber likes kids.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, if you have an average IQ or higher, you could easily tell that this was a joke. The person on the call is my friend Zach. Yes, the one with ADHD, who has been on my streams and videos before. By the way, on the same video in the comments section, users ask if it's real. Isn't that wild? I am led to believe as much as I can't even say joke, as much as I insult these TikTokers, you could see real patterns of malice because this clip is just way too obvious of a joke. Even if you found it distasteful, I think it's because these TikTokers noticed that their cancellation just didn't work. I mean, the people who dislike me are literal TikTok users, the same people who go on Twitter and Reddit. They never interact with YouTube. It's just so sickening to me that I lost a few viewers because they thought that I did something to an individual, an innocent. That is just so disgusting, and these people have built the environment for that. But anyways, whatever effects that they have, it's really only on those platforms, and no amount of their bullshit social justice videos affects my YouTube in any way. This is important because I really do think these people have gotten desperate. If you're not convinced to not watch my channel, because again, anyone with an average IQ or higher knows the warnings, so instead, how about pet accusations? Oh, that'll surely get you to stop watching. Even if the accusations didn't originate from TikTok, there's no doubt about it that these people have created the environment where it's seen as okay to lie about me and my character just because I crack jokes that they don't like. And that's the exact reason why I made this video. By the way, just because you were offended doesn't mean you're in the right. Either way, this was a lot of fun. I enjoy responding to arguments and cracking jokes, hence why this is so long. If you made it to the end, do comment saying Torta Hunter. And with that, I'm going to be calling it here. Goodbye. Goodbye.